Folks, we're back with something I promised last year. The 1876 Cape Cod series in the beautiful ruby red sandwich glass. Right here on my take on Home and Garden. Great, guys. Thanks for coming by, and I know you're going to love it. Who doesn't love that beautiful ruby red in the Cape Cod by Avon? Now, you people that want to say Avon, you can say whatever you want. Where I come from, we say it the way I'm saying it. Caribbean or Caribbean? Okay, guys, I'm going to start out with just the drinkware in this set. I'm so excited to do this. You've seen a little taste of it. I did a small table for Valentine's Day once. I've never done a big table. I'm going to try to get that in maybe this year. Let's start out from the smallest to the largest. Here is a little cordial or wine goblet. Now you'll see this set with the wine bottle. It's stemmed and frankly on a pedestal. But a shape like this, we call it stemware. And these, you guys that have some and know about it, they're so substantial in your hand. They didn't cheat. You know, you have a thick piece of beautiful glass, and through the years, it has not wavered and not thinned out like some of the cheaper stuff that gets a clear spot because it was cheap. That's really bad. This is such a beautiful set. This is the next size. This is a wine. You remember when I do the tables, this shape and style is called a claret. So this is probably 7 ounce. It has the same 6-sided base on the stem, pedestal or stem. Typically, if it's not tall, it's a pedestal. Okay, this is a stem. Now, here's what I'm talking about with no stem. Here's your tumbler. I mean, it's on a pedestal. It's not, technically, it's not a foot. People want to say it's not a foot. You know, I showed you footed in the teacup series. So if they want to see the difference, they can go over there and watch that, which that was wonderful too. You guys remember. Next is the mug. This is your hot cocoa mug, your espresso mug. It's not in a demitasse style. It's the bigger full. Like if you're at, you know, at the Munich Christmas shops, this is the mug you would have in that weather. Up in Canada or Old Forge, New York, running snowmobiles, this is a mug you'd want with that toddy. Beautiful. And of course, we're on a pedestal and we have the classic handle that you're going to see repeated on a few things from now on in the drinkware. Here is the champagne glass. Tall back to a stemware here now. Wide but shallow. Wonderful. Technically, they call it a champagne. Could have your margarita in here hanging around the islands. Same classic beaded around 6-sided base. just love that one. This is where people get confused. Here is the Chalice, again stemware. I'm going to show these together so you can keep it straight. When you're in the field and you only see one of them and you don't, you know exactly what you're missing or the difference between the two. Okay, so this is the Goblet. Same idea, but it's smaller diameter and deep. Goblet, champagne. Okay, you see that? They take the height here and less diameter. They're probably the same, possibly they're 10 or 12 ounce. You know, they could be equal. Just love those. Now, keep in mind, we started out, young when you have very little money for extra things or collectibles, and you get a few at a time. This collection is over 30 years, so there's no brag here. It's just telling you straight what we have. We started out wanting a set of 6, and we loved it so much. When we started picking up the ancillary pieces, which you'll see in part 2, we're getting some buys and deals, and we said we want the set of 12. And we did that before we got the table for 12. But it was still a lifetime goal to end up with some of our things that could set the 12-seat table. Just so you know. Okay, now, here is the tall tumbler, or drink glass, or water glass. Okay, these are gorgeous. All of this collection is still available. I mean, they made a ton of it, and some of you have said, oh, I let that go, or I gave it to a friend, I used to collect it. Oh, man. And it's so cute, but I know sometimes you can't hang on to everything, but, this stuff comes back around, and I feel bad for people with that agony of having to say, oh, I used to have some, and I'm going to start collecting it again. Oh man, we don't do that here, obviously. Love the tall tumbler. This is at least 12 ounce, it's probably 14. Alrighty, next, and this is the last of the drinking cups. What do we got here? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different just drinking cups in this series. And here is one of the last things we collected because good luck finding enough. And on top of that, paying what they want. These were harder to get than a lot of the pieces here. When something was tough, I'm going to tell you, this one is still probably tough. Then you go down to the mug. That's tough. They want, quite a little bit. Then the claret in the toughness. So some will say, well, I'll just skip that one. I'm just interested in the la-da-da. Well, that's great. Then it won't hurt so bad. But just to let you know, this is gorgeous. And of course, the saucer has the dimple. The bottom has the classic sunburst that the sandwich glass typically had to make it pretty. And when the cup is lifted off of the plate, you can see that through the glass. As deep red as this is, it's not opaque. You can see the beautiful pattern that's underneath and, of course, on top. Beautiful piece. And that right away is going to tell you that's not the bread and butter plate. Okay, the bread and butter plate you'll see in part 2 is about this size, and it's not going to have that cup dimple. Look at that together. Now again, imagine we had to come up with 12 of everything that I'm showing, and you saw the clean with me and rearrange with me, maybe if you've been here, and I washed that whole set and moved it. So it is beautiful on the shelves now. You remember, but here's the sugar and creamer. Aren't they cute together? Open top, there's no lid, there never was a lid, okay? And just exquisite. Look how exaggerated, and this is in that knobbed and it's almost flattened on the side, so it's skinnier this way. So really cute. There's your sugar and creamer, and besides, I want to say, besides having a set of 12 of every single thing they ever made, we have doubles on some things. So it's actually more than a set of 12, because if something gets broke, you know, I like that. You hear me talk like that, I can replace it toot sweet. You know, boy, there's an old saying. I don't know where they come from. Must be the old cartoons you used to watch. Now here's a dandy. This is so beautiful. This might give you a little trouble to find. If you find it, you can. You're gonna find it. They're gonna want a couple of dollars. I mean a couple more than you thought you were gonna have to pay. So be prepared for that. The stick of butter dish, lidded with the wonderful beaded handle, the pull, and this is almost really, it's like an English hobnail pattern here. Inside, this is the normal pattern, the little cartouche, and then the hobnail on top, English hobnail. Okay, more so. Beautiful piece. Love, love, love these. And because we have the long table, you've heard me talk over and over, so people aren't getting up and it turns your room into a circus. You know, you have a setup at each end. Salt and pepper, butter, drink, you know, wine bottle, and so on. Alrighty. Now, we're out of the drinks, and we're going to get into some of the ancillary things that's going to make up and fill this first part 1 video. This, I remember getting the first one. Probably have 4 of these. They got real pricey. You might get a deal. This is the vase that matches the set. I love the scale and the shape of this. It's typical, I call a bugle. An upright, tall bugle or trumpet, like the flower. Okay, trumpet shape. Just gorgeous. You see the pedestal that it's on in the classic beaded sandwich print. This still has to do with drinks. This is the glorious pitcher. And I had to be sick about wanting one for a long time before I finally got one. Now we have 3. They want a good buck for this. But it's one of the most beautiful things in our glassware collections. It is so substantial and wonderful and big, thick, solid, beautiful, with the same idea of a handle. This one you can really see the pattern in the glorious pressed glass or sandwich ware. And you new folks, hit that subscribe and hit the notification bell for all, so you get all the notices and don't miss a video. Now getting just into the serving. This is the little dessert bowl or berry bowl. Okay, it is cute as can be. So you can have mother bowl, if you will, of fruit, and then all your little side bowls for each individual person is dipped out of there, and it is cute. You'll see that in part two. Now, this is cute on its own, and it's so different. It's wider and low. It's your cereal bowl. That's the first name that they called it. You can say soup bowl if you want, and it certainly could be for either one. Another one that might be tougher than others to get a hold of, okay? Just saying it like it is. Love that. Then we have, which is a riot, in the Avon style, you know, these in the tall candlestick had your aftershave or cologne in there, okay? I don't want to tell you what this smells like now after years. I've had most of them I've emptied. Is there something in there? Or is it still? No, it's just what was in there. It's oh boy. It is special. Okay, so anyway, you know, we're not gonna, originally they had the cologne or bubble bath or something in there. We got that all out. And you're not gonna take the top on and off anyway. But just to remind you how it was, here's the little label on the bottom that tells you what was in it, so I can stop guessing. Charisma cologne, okay? Being that old now, that charisma, you might attract a zebra in the wild, in the jungle if you're hunting, or, you know, with your camera hunting, taking pictures. There's the tall candlesticks. Here's the little short candlestick. And again, always in a pair, it seems. Really cute, really sweet. You'll see me use them around, and what a wonderful color to use at Christmas time. Even if you're not setting a Cape Cod table, I always get to use pieces here and there in a vignette or a table, sneak them in, especially around the holidays. I told you there's 37 pieces that were made by Avon, and we have the last of them right here. The last piece that they came out with in this series, and I can remember way back then as a collector, we couldn't wait for these to come out. This is the bread and butter plate. That's so cute. Now, bread and butter could be a muffin and butter. It could be, you know, a roll and butter. That's what this is. And there's the beautiful pressed star pattern on the bottom, like they would do. Just nuts about it. The last piece that came out, couldn't wait for it. Okay, now next plate in the same design. Beautiful scallop beaded ridge with the starburst bottom. This is your dessert plate or salad plate, depending on, you know, how you were gonna, what you were gonna have, how you were gonna set your table. Then the fabulous dinner plate. I remember a time where I went to a big, monstrous flea market and sale and it was a holiday, and it was extra huge. All day, I walked all day and brought one dinner plate home among everything else. That's it. That's how hard it was to find at one time. Now there's a ton on the internet because, as we all know, people move on. They like the cheap plastic stuff today, I guess. They want their, you know, typical white on white on white with gray and white trim decor, I guess. And they let it all go. All the beautiful, colorful stuff is still here for us that love it to get it. And it's still reasonable. So that's my story. And there's the wonderful Cape Cod dinner plate. Now here's the next piece. This is the hurricane lamp without the globe. I've got 3 or 4 of these. And that was the piece that was most important to get your hands on, of course. Where's the globe? Well, you know, people pick them up and they broke them because they forget it's in 2 pieces, right? So I've never had the original one, which has a bellflower top. We had a couple plain ones, you know, that I would set here. And this holds a candle. You can see. Beautiful base. And the 6-sided base here. We have the cute as can be dinner bell. It has a glass ball on a chain for a clapper. But this is cute as can be, in the same style. You see the wonderful, like, English hobnail top, that pressed glass pattern that's all around. Alrighty, now if you remember the little miniature goblet, those went with the decanter, okay? So you would make up a set. Typically they'd sell them as a set. So you could get as many of them little wine goblets that you wanted, okay? And this is the decanter for them. This, you remember Avon, they came with, this one came with bubble bath. Okay, we've dumped, if they had anything, we've dumped it because it just gets old and smells super ultra bad over time, you know. This is cute as heck, and it has the stopper with the plastic that is tough to come out. This one don't want to come out, but you can see that's how long it's been in there, see? All right, cute shape. And if you see those together in a vignette or on a table, they're just fabulous. Next, we have some really just wonderful pieces. Hopefully, some of you out there never saw these pieces and didn't even know they came with the set. That will be really fun, okay? This is the compote or candy dish. Okay, it can be a peanut dish. Typical name for this pedestal bowl is a compote. Alrighty, just glorious. Then we have the fruit bowl. You remember the little bowls we showed. This would have the berries, and you could have the little bowls for the individual person, and you would serve them out of the major bowl and fill your little berry bowls and pass them out. Or this is for your fresh fruit, like any fruit bowl. Beautiful piece. And it has Avon stamped on the bottom. Extra pretty, this bowl. I remember 20 years ago I had to pay $30 for this bowl. Okay, so this is one of those pieces, either you're not going to find it or you're going to have to pay up when you do find it. This is one I want to tell you about. Nothing else is that hard to get or that expensive, but everything keeps going up, as we all know. Alrighty, let's look at the cake knife. Now, this is a stainless blade, curved with a cutting edge on the left. The handle, I'm surprised at this, but there must be a reason. It probably, to hold that stem and put pressure on there, they must have broke in their trials. They must have broke the glass ones. So the handle is not glass, but it's plastic. But I'll tell you, it matches like $1,000,000. And good luck if you can find this. I've seen these for $90. This might be tough for you if you insist on having the whole set. Since, well, yeah, let's go with the salt and pepper. How cute can you get? Look at this on the table. I remember when these came out too. It was towards, I think the end of the production. I remember back then these were about $16, and I thought, wow, it was a lot back then. Now, you can probably still get them for that, maybe even a deal, because they're not too hard to find, but just cute as can be together. Salt and pepper in the Cape Cod. Then everybody loves a good vinegar cruet. Let's see if this one will pop out. Yeah, okay, that's what that was supposed to do. Here's your screw-in seal on there, but a gorgeous piece. The style is immaculate. The handle, that flattened handle and beaded also, really makes this cruet exquisite. And the color is so rich and deep. I mean, you can just barely see through here. Beautiful thing. Now, really rare, probably some of you, maybe half of you, never knew they had this. And this is 90. In 90, they came out with a commemorative snowflake in the Cape Cod Christmas ornament. We gave one of these away, and I wanted it to be proper because it was being given away. It's the only one that had the ribbon, the original ribbon with it, and it was in its box. Christmas 1990 in the gold, and the back is exquisite. The starburst in like a wreath pattern, cute as can be. And the glass is just as thick as any of them. You can only see light through, and that beautiful color just comes through. Alrighty, here's another cute one. The heart-shaped box. Again, the bottom, like a lot of the sandwich glass did, they even made the bottom pretty. We have a couple of these because they're so cute, and we thought, this is going to get to be something that's really tough to find. This is too cute on your buffet or on your dresser if you just wanted a couple pieces. Wonderful. color again. The color is hard to beat. Okay, here's a piece a lot of you probably have never seen or didn't even know there was. The pie plate. Okay, can you see serving pie out of this beauty? Look at that star burst bottom. You hold this up to the light, or if you have shelves in front of a doorway, you couldn't even walk by without stopping to stare. It's so gorgeous. Beautiful piece. That one will make your hair stand on end if you can find it what they want. I remember having to pay about $35 for it 20 years ago. I'm not kidding. And I'd hate to see now. I didn't check, because anybody can check the online prices today. But that and the next 4 pieces that are coming up are in that category of arm and a leg, if you want them. Okay, this one not too terrible, but the gravy boat. This is one of the prettiest gravy boats I've ever seen in any collection. One that reminds me of how good this is the one in the 1920s and 30s Belvedere Old English. You remember. Can you believe it? That style, the long, exaggerated boat on a pedestal with that beautiful beaded handle. This is a must-have if you want to collect even just a 4-piece setting, I think. This is the platter. Okay, it's wonderful. Look at the size. Here's the starburst back. Beautiful ruby red sandwich glass. Very substantial. These are getting harder to find, but you can find them. Mine wasn't too bad at the time, but I can't, we've had this a long time, so I don't want to quote some things because I don't know what you're going to find today. These are tough. Even when I was collecting them years ago, you get a set of 4 napkin rings, so we have all 12. I had to find 3 sets of napkin rings. That was not funny. Today, you'll be lucky to buy the 4-piece set probably for $20. They're glorious. The same rich red. You can't see through them. You can only see a glow through that beautiful red. And the same pattern. All right. Love, love those. I might use this Christmas. Okay. The next 2, probably the hardest things to find and pay for. The cake stand. This is the only one I've ever seen for sale since I collected this. That's why I had to buy it. It's an individual, some sets of things you'll notice, it might have something they used and glued it on the bottom. That's not how this is. And it is glorious. Today, I don't know, I'm guessing, you're probably at $75, maybe more. Okay, so I'm so happy to have it. Like I say, the years go by, the harder everything is. I think I'd need to do a Christmas cake on this, don't you? If I do the Cape Cod Christmas table and then put the real cake on this, it's a must-have. Now the next piece, to me, I want to explain, is a 2-tiered server. Okay, I have, or had, if I can find them, the parts to this. This is what you're going to see. And mine, the upper plate broke. Okay? This two-tiered server is simply made up of, now look here, it looks like a dinner plate, but it's actually got a dimple here for the hardware. A regular plate doesn't. Okay, otherwise you see it's the same diameter and everything. But this is an individual piece. Hopefully I can learn more about drilling glass without breaking it. And frankly, I just, haven't had time to even think about it. But I want to get this back. Sometime I will have it back. And that's about the height that it was. If you find this, alrighty guys, if you liked our part 2 to the wonderful Cape Cod collection, 1876, in the ruby red glass by Avon, give us a like, a share, a comment, send a friend over, tell them how much fun we have. What'd you learn today? We're informative, right? Gotta make it fun. Thanks so much, guys. Be happy, have fun, go to the beach, get some sunshine, get a cookie. It's gonna make you smile. It makes me smile just saying it. Take care, guys. Till the next Over the Top. You know it. Collector and decorator video.